Yes, we are going to try to fix the ST106, so please stick around. Welcome back, everybody, to another MYOG. So, we're going to try to fix this terrible lockup. And what we need to do is inside here, this area right here of the blade where I'm touching, we need to remove some material from the blade there so when this comes around it locks up. Because unless you really snap this, it doesn't lock, and it's only locking maybe 1%. So, we got to take this apart so to where we can work on that. Now, the pivot is a T8, and these two little guys here are a T7. So I got my tools, and we're going to give this a try. Now, yeah, that doesn't want to turn, so you try the other side. From what I've seen, yep, see, look. See, one side won't turn, and the other side will. Because usually this is a sleeve, and it has a flat spot where it goes through, because there's a bearing assembly in there. So since this side here is the side that's coming off, I don't want to mess with those. Let's get this. That's loose. Well, I guess we got to take the pocket clip off too to get to that back screw. So there's one. There's two, along with the pocket clip. And get this guy. So how was everybody's New Year's? I hope it was good. Mine was okay. Going to be going back to work here soon. Or maybe not, depending on what happens in the world. One can never know what the future holds. Okay. Oh, man, that scale came right off. See, there's our pivot, our locking from the pivot. Here's our blade. And there is a bearing assembly. Look at that. Ain't that neat? Okay. See if I can get that out without losing it. Okay, that doesn't want to come out. Okay, we'll try a little gentle persuasion. There we go. And give you a close-up look. There is the bearing assembly. Looks to be the balls are secured in some kind of a synthetic. And there's the other side. Let me zoom in and give you some close-ups of this, because I'm only going to do this hopefully one time, and you can see how everything looks. That's the other bearing assembly right there. It's still on the pivot. Okay. So, we want to remove material from here, right there. And I think the best way to do that is with a file. But first, we need to cover that blade, because I really don't want to slice my hand open, and that blade is pretty dang sharp. So I just got some masking tape here. and that's what we're going to use. Whoops. Sorry. Bumping the camera. It really is a shame that I had to give this a so-so review, but I had no choice when the locking mechanism was not working. Got by their quality control. Really a shame. But not that big of a deal. I fix stuff quite often. Okay. So now that cutting edge is covered, we shouldn't cut ourselves. Now I need a file. And I have a file right here. It's a Mill Bastard Nicholson old school one made in the USA. The newer ones, unfortunately, are not made in the USA. So let's see if I can hold this and get the right angle. Wow, that's hard. Let me try to hold it here. Okay, it's kind of hard to see. We're making a little bit of progress right here, but this is very hard. I can say this, their hardening process is no joke. The file is taking effect, but this is something that's slow going. And you don't want to rush something like this, because okay, you can see where I've filed. Now what we can do, I'm going to get some of this tape out of the way. Let me get a paper towel here. I'm going to wipe out, because I don't want any metal shavings in there. Okay, so blade would be in here like this. This is where the lock would be. Okay. Now what I want to see is, as I'm holding this, am I getting... Okay. We really are not getting much more of a lockup. So we got to take more material off there. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and pause the camera, because this is going to take a little while, because I got to keep removing material and keep checking the fit until I get it where I want it. So I'll bring you back when I got it done. Okay, I think I finally got it. So I give the liner a little bit more of a bend, and I filed and filed, and I don't really want to remove any more material. So I think I got it. We're going to do a little dry assembly here, and we are going to see if, oops, dropping that pen. I tell you, you do something like this, you wish you had 4 arms and 4 hands and all that. You just never have enough hands. Okay. Oops. That thing is finicky when it wants to go together. And having oil on it makes it nice and slippery. Okay. Get everything lined up, slide this over so I can pick it up. Okay. Oh yeah. That is a much better lockup. Look at that. That's almost in the center of the blade. Heck yeah. Booyah! I think I got it. Okay. Let me pop this apart now. Before I do final assembly, I just want to oil the bearings. You know, Okay, I want to put a little oil in this race on each side. Okay, go there. These bearings can go back in there. Drop of oil on the top. Alright, now we're ready to put this bad boy back together. Okay. Alright. Got everything lined up. Gonna start with the pivot. And I'm not going to tighten this super tight because I got to get in the back screws. But I want this to hold. There we go. And the two smaller diameter ones go here and here. And those two bigger diameter hold the pocket clip. But the very last thing we're going to do is put that pocket clip on, because once this is all assembled and everything's tightened, I want to double check that lock. Okay, everything looks centered. Tighten that. Okay, moment of truth. Whoa, I lost my pen. Oh, see that? I lost that pin out of there. That was dumb. Okay, don't do that. So now I got to take it all apart again. Maybe I can get away with just taking this and this one out and loosening that back one. Maybe I can swing the side over. We were going to see if that works. Oh. No, there's not enough threads there. I just got to take it off. Okay. This pin, which goes in here, that's what stops the blade from coming around like a helicopter blade. And like a dummy, I must not have had that perfectly lined up when I put this back together. See? There it is. Okay, now I got it. Hopefully. We will see. See, in life, doing stuff like this, your mistakes, you will learn as much from your mistakes as you will from your successes. Okay. Got the pin in there, so now I just need to put these on. You know, it's funny, I was sitting here working on this, and I was thinking about my my father, because of New Year's and all that. And I asked him one time how him and my mother stayed married for over 60 years of their life. And he told me, he said, "Son, I'm from a generation where we fixed things, we didn't throw them away." Oh, look at that lockup. And I'm pushing on that. Look at that lockup. That's exactly what we want. But anyway, he said he was from a generation where they fixed things, they didn't throw things away. Oh, that's just beauty. Beauty. Alright, I'm going to put the clip on, and we're going to call that done. And the more I thought about that, the more I said to myself, you know, he's got a point. I just wish that I could meet someone who I could share the rest of my life with, because you never know how much you have left. Life, that is. None of us do. You could be crossing the street tomorrow and get hit by a car, and, well, that was all she wrote. Okay. Alright, let me get this tape off here. without slicing my hand. That would be preferable. But yeah, I'm really glad I knew my father. He was quite the guy. So was my mom. But sometimes in life, you just have to fix things. You just can't throw it away or start over. And I notice for a lot of people, that's their default setting, is to throw something away or make it somebody else's problem and just not fix it. And for some reason, working on this blade, that's where my mind kept going today. Alright, let's make sure everything still works. I might have to loosen this pivot just a little bit. There we go. Alright. Oh, that lockup is great. Pushing on it, it's not coming. Wow. Okay. I'm going to call that a success. And I'm glad you were here with me to see this. That is how you fix the lockup on a folding knife that isn't quite right. I hope you learned something, and I hope to see you all later out in those woods.